This is the Stubborn German Podcast, brought to you from the hustling and bustling Stubborn German Brewery in gorgeous Waterloo, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
I am one of tonight's hosts, Jarod Chassoff, here with Mr. Chris Ron.
Hello, Jarod.
How are you, Chris?
I'm great.
Let's paint a scene here.
Okay.
We got a gorgeous night, blue skies. It's a little crisp.
Yeah, a little
out,
chilly.
A little brisk, like 50 maybe.
Yeah, hoodie weather.
Yeah, but I like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and we don't have any tornadoes.
Not today.
It's a good day.
You never know what's coming.
You never know.
And we have an empty chair.
We do. You may realize if you're listening, paying close attention, Kevin is not here with us currently.
Not tonight.
But I guess not even depending on when you hear this, because it's still the same day, but we're recording this on Kevin's birthday.
It is Kevin's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
We miss you.
He's off partying it up.
He is.
He didn't have time for
tying
this.
one on. We planned ahead to have him here and do this on his birthday. He said that was the first thing he wanted to do on his birthday was podcast with us.
He lied.
He's been counting down the days. But he is preoccupied with some important things, and we appreciate him nonetheless.
Yes.
So I did bring something that we're going to bust out later, hopefully, in honor of our famed host. But for now, what we always do to start off an episode is the German word of the day.
Oh, the German word of the day for today happens to be Zahnbürste.
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 Wow, Zahnbürste. That's one word, not like a phrase?
No, that's one word.
Zahnbürste. Yep. Okay. I think that is the
I think...
man, Zahnbürste.
The man.
I can't even think, well, Zahn is this in German.
Right.
I'm going to say sunburst.
Sunburst. Like, is that
like a guitar finish. The sunburst finish on a Les Paul guitar.
Oh,
Zahnbürste.
Okay. Zahnbürste on my Les Paul.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
got it.
Yep.
Noted.
And there's no one else to guess.
There's no one else to guess, so that is the official guess.
Well,
Great.
we thought that, so we're going to do, as we usually do for our longtime listeners, we record 2 episodes.
We do.
In the same evening. So this is the first episode, and we thought we're going to go no guest. We're
no
just going
guest.
to catch up, me and Chris, shooting the breeze.
That's it.
Pounding back some
Cold
stubborn
beers.
German beer, yes.
Ice cold.
And then we'll have another guest. But I think maybe this one's going to post second. So as we're enjoying all of this, the other episode will be the first one you hear. So we'll try to sound surprised and like we haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah.
In that one,
In
too.
that one.
But,
yeah.
But it has been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah. Yep. Was it this year at all?
I don't think so.
I think it was last year.
In fact, that's what I was going to bring up. So normally this time of year, in April, is our season turnover.
Oh,
and
it is, right?
When we were all going to be here, I was going to say, hey, guys, it's season 5.
Season 5?
5.
Are
Can
you
believe
kidding?
it? I know. Well, then I looked. I was like, is that right? And I looked, how many episodes of season 4 did we have? We only had 6 episodes in season 4. But we were real consistent. We started April, May, June, July. I think we got into September, and then we haven't recorded since then.
The wheels fell off. Since September?
I think so.
At my house, right?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, that's been a while.
It has been a while. So,
and for no real reason other than, I don't know.
You're
lack
a busy
of,
guy. We're all busy.
That doesn't help, but we could have found something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good ideas are hard to come by, first of all. So, unless I have just like this burning idea that I have to get out, get to,
Yep.
nothing really makes me send that text.
Yeah,
Look, we got to do this. So, I don't know.
I hear you. Yeah, it's tough when you don't have something specific to talk about.
Right, this episode.
Exactly. We have so much in this one.
Buckle up, folks.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, well, we could just force it. We could just get together and not really want to or whatever. So we kind of wait until the time is right. It's only been 6 months or whatever.
Right.
So season 5, unless, maybe we decide to wait for Kevin and I'll make this, I don't know.
Season 4, yeah.
But thank you to our listeners. I have had a few people say, when are you recording again? Where's the next episode?
I have heard that as well. I've also a couple people have said, remember that podcast you guys used to do?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I guess it has been a while.
Well, it is lawn mowing season now, so people got to mow. They have to have a podcast.
I mowed today for the first
you?
time.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I've mowed 3 times already.
3 times. I should have mowed. This should have been my second time at least. But
to be fair, a lot of our yard is not that tall. For whatever reason, our front yard, I think we put more fertilizer and weed and feed out a couple of years ago, and it just shoots up. The backyard is not that bad, but man,
front yard, got to do it. Yeah.
It's bad, and of course that's what everybody sees, so you got to mow it.
Yeah,
but with so much rain, so much wind and sunshine, man.
Yeah.
But so what's your time now? How long does it take you to mow your lawn?
So it used to take. We've got some property. I guess we mow. I would guess somewhere we have a few acres. I would say maybe 2 to 3 of them that we mow with a 0 turn. Mm-hmm. And it used to take like 3.5 hours to do it. There's some hills, and it's kind of sketchy here and there.
Right. Have you dumped it? Come on.
No, I have not dumped it yet. But if you ever, if we're ever supposed to podcast, and Tammy says, "Oh, Chris isn't going to make this one," you might know what happened.
Yep.
I'm upside down in the yard.
A buddy of mine
saying, "Leave me."
A buddy of mine at work bought a 0 turn when they just recently bought a house, like, I don't know, a year ago.
Sure.
With a little bit of property and a ditch.
Oh, sounds just like us.
The first time he drove that 0 turn, he rolled it over.
No way! The first time.
Mm-hmm. Oh. First day out. I mean, he was okay.
Did he hit a low limb and the bar got him, or did
I think he was just on a slope.
Oh,
he was on a slope, made the wrong turn, and it rolled.
So
he was okay, but
yeah, that's scary though. I mean, the slopes, like I have. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but there's an area right up against the lane that goes towards our house. That's very, very steep, but the grass grows there, so it's got to get dealt with somehow. And I guess we could get goats, but we didn't, so I have to mow it.
There's always goats.
So that's the sketchiest part that we have, and it's a pretty good angle. But I've always been able to do it, and so not really big deal. It doesn't scare me as much anymore as it used to.
Right.
But what has got me a couple times are these like low hanging like limbs, and if they're lower than your bar, your head bar, rollover bar, whatever they call it. That thing will just take you and knock you backwards.
Wow!
unless you stop in time.
Yeah.
So you have to get on you have to be ready. If you're by a tree, you got to be ready to push those handles back and go the other way, like right away.
Tammy, if you're listening, if you could just video Chris every time he gets close to those limbs, I would.
Oh man,
pay good money to put that on Stubborn German Facebook page.
It is scary. I mean,
it is.
Especially the first time. First time I have it, I didn't even know what hit me. I'm just like, what is going on here? Why am I in the air?
Oh my gosh.
So, fun times. Yeah, lawn mowing season.
Mowing with Stubborn German.
Right.
We got tips for you. Inside tips.
Inside.
Let's see. What else is going on? So by the time this airs, we will have had, I believe, probably Sausage Fest,
I think
right?
so, yeah. Probably.
So that came and went. Congratulations to the
winners.
Whoever the winner
is. It was a blast.
Yeah.
The Worst Bavarian Band was amazing,
right,
as always.
Right. They're the worst.
I had a great time. Everyone was high-fiving me, so thank you to all you.
All those people that said, like, you put on the best Sausage Fest, Chris. You know that?
Yeah, I'm known for that. Yeah.
Congrats.
Uh-huh.
But before all that, like, have there been what's been going on in your life, Chris? Tell us. Catch us up.
Staying busy with the kids, lots of baseball. We're the kids are 15, 13, so the 15-year-old is going to be driving in a month. So what's consuming my life right now is getting his he wanted a truck, so we found him a truck, and it's not a fancy truck.
Sure.
It's a first vehicle, so we've had to fix it up, and I have my shop background, so I'm like, this is nothing new to me. We can fix up a truck. That sounds fun, actually. So spent the last couple Saturdays in the shed, just working on his truck, and we actually I don't know why I'm laughing. It's really not funny at all. But this kid had a truck over in Missouri when the tornadoes came through in was it mid-March? The big line of tornadoes. Yep. It basically made toothpicks out of this woods area that he lives in.
Oh wow!
And this tree, big cedar tree, just fell right on his truck, and I mean, bad luck to be parking your truck under a tree during a tornado, but I don't know. It's where it was, and so it smashed the cab, and we needed a hood, so his hood was good. So we bought this truck.
Oh, I thought that was the truck that your 16-year-old's going to be driving.
No.
I was like, man,
Chris,
that
was a parts truck.
Do a little more.
So there are two black Chevy trucks in our shed right now.
You're that guy.
One, I know, and one is completely smashed.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good way to do it. Get some parts, and then you can get rid of it or part it out or whatever.
Yes, and both the kids love tinkering with stuff like so. So they've actually had a lot of fun, and so have I. Like just working on these trucks and taking good parts off, putting them on the good truck, and So I don't know. It's been kind of fun. So
we bought a truck from a guy in Missouri. Man, it was far out. I mean, it was. Far out.
Whoa!
It was past
subliminal advertising there.
Past St. Charles and all that. I can't actually remember where it was, but we test drove it. I think we came back another night, picked it up, paid for it, all that stuff, signed everything over, and we get it home, and we had to register it and all that. And the DMV is like, "Do you have the?" I'm making up a term here. The flood guarantee form. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, this truck's from Missouri, and you have to have a form that verifies that it has not been in flood damage. I'm like, what?
But it was seriously a flood thing?
It was like a form that anyone in Missouri...
For floods, though?
For floods. I guess because there had been some floods in Missouri over the last year or so at the time. And I guess there was a problem. People were scamming, whatever. Here's a truck with flood damage, and they're not telling you. So it was like a disclosure form. You had to disclose whether this had been flooded. Huh. And I was like, no, I don't have that. And the guy I bought it from was, long gone. I mean, I could track him down, I guess, get his number or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like, no, I don't have that.
How would I know I'm supposed to do that?
Exactly. It was like a new thing. So anyway, I had to get a hold of the guy.
Oh my gosh!
And he was like I think he was a farmer, so he's busy and he can't just drive and meet us or whatever. So it was a whole thing. We had to get. I think they were able to fax it, but they had to get it notarized and all this stuff. It was just like it was a huge headache. So I hope you didn't have to go through that.
No, we didn't.
With your Missouri truck.
Well, we didn't, and we don't plan to use it for anything.
Right.
So we didn't even have to go to the DMV for it. So
I see how it is.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna live in our shed for a while.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That's exciting. Getting that first truck or first car is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's excited about it. At first, he was a little like, "What kind of beater are you giving me, Dad?" Mm-hmm. And I don't know. We started kind of tinkering with it and replacing some stuff. The headliner was falling down, so we fixed that. And I think when he saw that, he was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of cool. Like, it looks way better, and it's not as embarrassing or whatever." So, I wanted to have a cool truck. Mine was an '87 S10, my first one, and it was red, except it had faded a bunch, so it was basically pink.
You had a pink.
So
truck.
I had a pink S10 as my first vehicle.
That's
so
okay.
Real chick magnet.
These days, that's fine. Yeah. A buddy of you probably know him too. I won't say his name on here, but he had. I think it was an S10 in high school. And
you can't say his name because he's that embarrassed?
No, I mean, it was okay. I'll say his name.
Fine.
Stephen Hoffman.
Hoffman. I do know who you're talking about.
He had this, I think it was a red S10.
Oh, he's going to be so embarrassed.
Because there were two trucks, and one of them, anyway, he's taken that turn on, I guess it's South Library, that turns and goes towards the winery, so it crosses the highway there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the bypass was there at that point. Maybe. It might have been.
Yeah, who knows?
But anyway, he took that turn, and it was raining. He rolled that thing into a ditch, rolled it over onto its side on its top. And he was okay, thank God. But, yeah, it was like, dude, what are you doing? Come on. Is it that hard to drive a truck without rolling it? But
don't say that, Jarod.
I know. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
So I'm sure your son will be just fine.
I'm sure he'll do
You
great.
won't worry at all.
No, not at all. Why would I? Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think you've had a big event at the brewery lately. It's been a little while, right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. So, I mean, Mellow Corn Day was I guess
that was just
last
week.
That
right?
was just as
depending on when you're listening to this. It was about a month ago.
Yeah, we had that. That was a lot of fun.
I didn't come out for that.
That's sad.
I feel bad a little bit. How was it? Was it a good time?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
We had every seat in here full except for one.
my seat.
Thanks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we had a great crowd, and everybody had fun. We had a blast. Mellow Corn is like the cheapest booze you can, throw an event around.
Now, I remember, I guess it was last year, maybe the year before, you guys were like the highest or the number 2 rated, whatever, and you still kind of hold that.
We sold the most Mellow Corn
That's crazy.
Of an on-premise in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And, we sold bottles of it, so it's not like they have to call you either on-premise or off-premise according to the distributor, so that's where that comes from. But
I'm not sure it really counts if you don't tell people that you're swapping out their drink for Mellow Corn. Like,
we do that for everyone.
Think they're drinking Elijah Craig, and what is this?
It's all Mellow Corn.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's, congrats to you guys for
thanks.
Moving that much product and then being able to get people. I mean, how many places would pack the place to celebrate Mellow Corn?
None.
No
other places.
It's really cool, but also you guys are weird.
I know. So
there's these like distilleries and other places, these bars that are like, they have a Mellow Corn Day? Really?
Yeah. They're like, what are we missing this? Like, should we be on the Mellow Corn Day?
Guess what? It's Keystone Light Day.
And we would be sitting here going like, what?
What? Yeah. No, that's cool.
We did white glove service for it. So table service. So
I missed out the last year.
I was the waiter. Yeah,
we didn't do that when I went. What the heck?
Yeah. Last year we didn't do that.
No. And you had like T-shirts and
T-shirts, glasses, nacho bar. We had the Mellow Corn drink, which is like the mellow yellow cocktail. Basically, it's supposed to taste like mellow yellow soda, kind of. And what else? Yeah, just pours of mellow yellow in bottles, and that's awesome. That did the trick. Everybody
anything that packs the place out is a good thing.
Yes, anything.
People respond to that here. So
for sure.
I was here for the Four Roses tasting.
Oh, yeah.
And that was packed. I mean, not like shoulder to shoulder, but packed for a Thursday night.
We had an amazing turnout for that. Yeah. I'm not sure why or what happened, or because we do those.
People love their Four Roses, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. More than I would have thought. But we've done Four Roses before, but just, I don't know. I don't know what brought everyone out that night.
Kind of a random, and what's going on?
Because that was like double the crowd that we normally have for one of those tastings. And we do those tastings every month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why were they there at that one but not other? Or, I
was trying to figure it out, too. Well, what's going on?
And the one before that, Buzzard Juice had a really good response. And the one before that, oh, gosh, I don't remember what it was.
Word's out. Chris knows how to do a tasting.
Yeah. Yeah. So... We're doing Yellowstone coming up in late April. So
I say Chris knows. Tammy is doing plenty of work, too. She's doing the pouring and the cleanup and bartending. Yeah.
I come up with the scatterbrained idea of
he pretty much just stands there.
Try this. Stand there, drink the bourbon with everybody.
Makes up some stuff about mash bills. And like, who knows?
Fake it till you make it.
No, it was good. So it was a good tasting for one.
Sure, yeah.
And Four Roses is kind of one of the more confusing ones with all their mash bills and their like codes.
Right.
So it was actually kind of informative to have that explained. Like, oh, okay, that's what that means.
It's not as scary as it seems, but it's still confusing. Mm-hmm. No one else really has that.
No, I'm not sure quite why they do it that way, but it's.
Well, did you go to the tasting?
Well,
you don't remember?
I don't remember. It was that good of a tasting. I don't remember.
He doesn't remember. I got to do it again.
Briefly explain to us, why does Four Roses do it the way they do?
Oh gosh, it was an old Seagram's thing. So when Seagram's owned that building, Seagram's coded everything like that just to keep things organized in house. And when Four Roses broke off, they just kind of kept that the way it was.
Okay.
And MGP does the exact same coding. MGP from Indiana, the big contract distiller, they do the same coding, but they because they used to also be Seagram's.
Okay.
Seagram's owned that building as well, so that distillery in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
I'm not sure you explained that on our tasting. I think we got the short straw on that one. But
that or you were talking with someone.
There was a lot of people there. It was crowded.
Well, that's the hard part is when you have a big group, it's like we just do them as quick as we can. So we roll groups through. If it doesn't look like there's going to be a gigantic turnout, we'll do smaller groups, like maybe 6, even 8. But But this we did a minute. I said bring at least 10 people over.
I think we had 10,
Yeah, so it was between 10 and 12 people in every group, and that's just a lot to huddle around a table.
Yeah. If one person is talking, it just distracts you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's so hard you don't want to call out a grown man, like, can you stop talking while I'm talking? So
yeah.
Even though I want to.
Right.
My tactic is to stare right in their eyes as I'm talking, doing my spiel, as if I'm only talking to them, and just make it as awkward as possible. It kind of diffuses their volume. They quiet down, and they're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
They're all
I think that the tactic that our chorus teacher would do in school was she would just talk quietly. Rather than talk louder and louder and louder, she would just almost whisper.
Yeah.
Until everybody realized, oh, we can't hear her at all.
But this was just one guy, though.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, I'm screwing 9 people by, for this one dude. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. And I would say that is not the norm. So if you're ever wondering about, should I go to one of these tastings? I've never been before. Yeah. You should definitely go.
You should.
It is a good way to try a bunch of quality whiskeys and get an explanation about what it is, talk to other people about what they're tasting. And, and usually there's something for sale. So
Yep. Yeah, usually there's some bottles. I always try to... There's usually about 6 samples on the tasting, and I tried my best to make sure that like at least one of those 6 is like a really hard-to-find bottle, something allocated or something I've kind of hoarded and saved up for a while.
Right.
So it's usually... I don't know, that's what I try to do.
Yep. Let's see. What do you got coming up?
Coming up? Oh, gosh.
Let's see. It'll be about May when people are listening to this.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, summertime, and then we're going to roll right into Stubborn Fest season. So we've already been kind of working on that. Let me tell you, I am insanely excited about our music situation for Stubborn Fest.
Right.
Unfortunately, Far Out was booked, so we weren't able to get them.
I know, it was tough. That's okay.
Maybe we could do like a pre-gig for like Thursday night or something.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun, actually.
Pre-game it.
Yeah. So Friday, to kick it off at 3 o'clock, we have Bowls and Beer Band.
Okay.
So that's the crazy band from Nebraska.
Which you have had, but you didn't have.
We didn't have them last year.
Right.
They were booked. We had some weird scheduling situations, and and we basically threw 2 Stubborn Fests.
That's true,
because one got rained out. So anyway, but yeah, we're gonna have them kick it off, and then Steve Ewing is gonna play right after that on Friday night.
Okay.
So then Saturday will be the first band at noon is Waterloo German Band. So they're gonna kick it off Saturday instead of Friday. And then we'll have, as we always do, Deutschmeister Brass Band from like 3 to 6. So that afternoon slot, they're perfect for that. Kind of the midday, day drinking crowd. They're a blast. And then we end again Saturday night, and again with Bowls and Beer Band. Oh, okay. So they open it and they close it.
Are you housing them too, or
yes? Tammy got them an Airbnb. And, yeah, it's a whole thing.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm pretty jazzed.
Okay, that'll be good,
as the kids say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's a ways off, but really, it's not.
Well,
when summer flies by, and the next thing you know, it's October.
And the thing is, there's only so many like good polka bands out there. So if you want a good one, you kind of have to.
You got to book them now.
You got to book them early.
Yeah, that's cool
for sure.
And okay, we'll come back to that. My wife had a photo gig recently, and Steve Ewing was there at that thing.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he played, and then it was like a dinner too, and she was seated next to him.
No way.
He didn't recognize her. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's weird. Why not?
But yeah, he's a local celeb around here.
Yeah,
so that's
for
awesome.
Sure. Yeah, he's a blast.
Let's see. I'm checking the countdown, and wasn't there some issue with Stubborn Fest beer? Like, I can't remember. Were you short or something, or you had to brew more? I thought there was something with that.
No,
you had plenty. I mean, I know you always have plenty.
We had enough last year.
Or maybe did we run out after? I feel like there was something with Stubborn Fest beer that you didn't have some for a little while. Maybe I'm making that up.
Well,
make sure you have enough this year, Chris. Come on.
I will. We'll kick her into gear.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That'll be here before you know it. 2 days of just German Fest.
Goodness.
It's awesome. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, tons of food, tons of music, tons of beer.
Lederhosen. I want to get a legit outfit this year.
And you should do it now.
I know.
And not, because when you wait until like September,
everybody's
their stock goes crazy, goes low, and whatever, run out of stuff, and then their prices are higher.
And you got tariffs now and everything. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is the time to buy your lederhosen for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. What else is going on? We're just really trying to just catch up with each other, but also like with our listeners and the bar. And we were talking a little bit before the episode just about what's going on. That's not me.
Is it you?
That's not me.
It's not me.
Someone's phone is ringing. We got baseball for your kids.
Yes.
We got summer quickly approaching. We're getting a bunch of band gigs lined up.
Sweet.
Yeah, trying anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just keeping busy. Life, keeps going.
You got to practice too, right? Every week?
We do. We practice. We took a month off after.
How'd that go?
It was kind of nice, but also like I needed it. I was sick. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
For the Millstadt thing, right? So the
yeah.
And I was like, it was bad. I mean, I wasn't like, I don't think I was really contagious sick. Just long-term cough that just wouldn't go away. Yep. And I was just like, this is brutal. And we had a couple of gigs in a row like that where I was just like, I couldn't sing half the songs. The other guys were filling in on certain verses and
you had
stuff,
to use
and it was
Milli
like
Vanilli filler tracks,
basically.
And everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I can't keep doing this. So I said we got to take a month off and just not practice or anything.
And then you didn't say a word. You were like a monk,
right? Yeah, Kristen loved it, but
probably.
Yeah. But I'm recharged now. Voice is back. All that. So
Good.
yeah, but So we are going to play Tiny's in Columbia, which we've played before.
Yeah.
But there is a new venue, the Graphite, or is it just Graphite? I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's at the old school.
Oh,
Catholic.
yeah, that's there.
Yeah, there's a whole the hotel there,
Cafe on the Abbey,
yes,
and all that.
Exactly.
Yes, in Columbia.
And so we've got that booked in May. Actually, depending on when you're hearing this,
it might be tomorrow.
It might be. We're playing Tiny's May 17th. That's a Saturday, and Graphite May 31st. 2 weeks later, also a Saturday. So looking
Columbia
forward to that.
fans
Columbia, right? All the Columbia peeps that don't always make it out to Waterloo, we can go get them out.
You go to them.
Exactly.
I like it.
And Tiny's is always fun, probably out on the patio. And then we've never played Graphite, but we're going to be out on the patio there. So a couple outdoor gigs, so that'll be fun.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
And then we got like a private gig coming up, and we're already booking the farmer's market. They're booked out till like end of summer already. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So
need to try to make it to that Tiny's gig. They have our beer. Oops, I dropped my microphone. They have our beer, and I want to support them. And I'd like to go.
You know where else I went that had your beer, and I was
where?
surprised because I didn't know it until after I ordered. Salt and Honey here in town.
Oh yeah,
I go in there. I had been in there before, but I'd never gotten anything there. And my wife has gone there several times. And she's like, oh, they've got this and that, and fruit smoothies if you want, or a sausage sandwich or whatever. I was like, okay. And I'm sitting there drinking my fruit smoothie, and I'm staring up at the bar at the shelves, and I see Stubbornfest on the second. I'm like, what the heck? Why am I drinking a strawberry banana smoothie when I could be drinking Stubbornfest?
Could be having a beer at this point.
Man. It's like, but now I know. So now it's my second favorite place to go. And and we may try to play there too. We talked to them, and they're excited about booking, but we don't have that set up yet. So we'll see.
Got to get there.
But I was pleasantly surprised to see your beer on the shelf at a little bistro.
I love having our places, our beer at places that I like to eat and frequent. So
yep,
for sure.
Cool. Let's see. We just got over the Blues streak. Came to an end.
Yeah, I know.
But that was exciting, and it's still exciting. They're going to be they're going to be a good team.
Yeah.
By now, they may have been eliminated. I don't know.
Hopefully, they're still playing.
right.
At this point.
But so it was just last night. I think was the end of the 12-game streak. Right, 12-win streak. Yep.
Yeah, we went to the 12th win against the Avalanche.
You were there? Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Took
the kids. We didn't have anything going on a Saturday night, and it's like. Let's surprise them with some Blues tickets. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So we did, and they had a blast.
Okay. We had an actual work-related topic.
We did.
That we might as well segue into. I don't think we segued at all, but
that was a great segue. Let's stop talking about the Blues, and now we'll talk about this.
Yeah. I hope it's interesting to some people. It was interesting to me, and I brought it up to Chris.
Yeah.
I was watching some YouTube video where someone was being asked about starting a business, and the person asking the question was kind of critiquing their friend who was starting a business, and the friend was all about the details and the prices, and we got to have this and that. But the long and short of it was they got to make sure they're cheaper than the competition, and the competition is Walmart. And it was like, oh, well, okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd play that game.
Right. And then their friend who was kind of critiquing them and asking this question was like, no, they should be worried about all these other things, and there's value in the craft of it, and there's value in this and that. You know, people are willing to pay that or whatever. So I said to Chris, I said, do you guys price your product, your beer or your drinks, in a way that is competitive with your competitors, or is it all just about the price of the materials and the cost of labor and the rent, you know, all that stuff that's the price, doesn't matter what other people are pricing it at? And I kind of said that because I've noticed over the years when I go to other craft breweries, it's always more expensive than Stubborn German. And I'm always like, man, coming to Stubborn's a good deal. But, you know, some people come in here and they're like, man, this is expensive compared to Bud Light or whatever. You know, it's like, well, yeah, but that's apples and oranges. So that was my question to Chris, was how do you guys approach that?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it's good to hear that we're on the cheap end, because that means we're probably due for a raise.
Well, you know. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all Jared's fault. The beer prices are higher.
I don't know why their prices went up.
No, and it's an interesting concept, too, because like we really have been kind of thinking about that a lot lately. I'd say 2024, and then so far in 2025, like, I mean, our I'll just say it, our business is definitely down a bit from the previous handful of years. And, you know, we've been open now 9 years, so we've had the COVID thing in there, like right in the smack dab in the middle. So as we were growing, all of a sudden here comes COVID. And that was, I don't know, call that a 2 to 3 year thing, I guess. Yeah. And then, you know, coming out of that, business was great. So it's like, you don't know, you know, you think you have 9 years of business to like look back on and see like, well, how are we doing?
Yeah.
But with that monster of COVID right in the middle, and the way it changed everyone's behavior and drinking habits, and all the free money that was out there for people to support the small business, you know, it just kind of threw a wrench into all those numbers. So like, we don't even know if we're if we're like, are we on track? Are we not? Right. Are we actually low? Or is this like actually the normal? And we're just so used to the awesome years after COVID when everyone just needed to drink, you know.
And I don't think it's just you guys that are down. Everybody's down. I mean, just
and that's the thing.
Consumers are not spending as much. Inflation, everybody, you know, it's hard to.
Yeah, but it has alarmed us enough to try to reach out to other, you know, of our fellow brewers around here, and just, you know, ask a few questions like, you know, is your business down, or what are you guys seeing, that kind of thing, and then again, you know, ask about pricing. And I'll tell you, every time, so when we opened, our beer was like our 650 beers here. There's it's $6.50 a pint for like, I don't know, 15 out of our 18 beers, I'd say.
For sure.
IPAs are higher and barrel-aged beers are higher. Yeah. So $6.50 is kind of what we call our normal price for normal beers. That started at $5 when we first opened. It quickly went to $5.50, and then we had 2 more raises since then. Over 9 years.
Yeah,
so it's not
I feel like it was
ton.
$5.50 for a long time. I mean, you weren't raising your prices.
Right. And, you know, so you know, here we are kind of feeling a bit of a pinch.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, should we raise from $6.50 to $7? It just
I'm
seems
starting to regret that I brought this
up, right?
Everybody. Sorry.
It really is your fault. But, you know, here I am just thinking like, okay, Stub Light. Stub Light is just a 4.3%. It's made to compete with, you know,
other light
Bud
beers.
Light, basically.
Right.
So would you pay $7 for a pint of Bud Light? Like, I mean, maybe at the Cardinal game or something, that'd be okay, but not in Waterloo. So, and you know, and this isn't Bud Light. It's got better things going on than, I shouldn't say that. It has different things going on than Bud Light.
It's better.
It's maybe.
But yeah, I mean, that number in front is a big change from a 6 to a 7. You know, it's like it's 50 cents, absolutely. But it's visually and in your brain, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
And you know, the other times that we have raised our prices, it's because we would do the same thing. We would ask all the brewers around here, Hopskull and Waterloo. We would always ask Brian at Mill Pond, Chris at Leaferbrow. So like we're always kind of in communication here and there about things like that. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to go up at the beginning of the year. We're going to go up, in a couple months. And it's like, okay, well, everyone else is, and if we do, then we'll be right in line with them as well. So we very much kind of, we don't want to.
So what you're saying is collusion. That's what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah. We all raise them together.
Collusion.
Yeah.
That's it. It seems to work better that way. Or, if one brewery raises their prices, you're the jerk. But if everyone in the area does it, it's like, well, no, we all do. So what? You're going to quit drinking beer because we all raise our prices a little bit? Like, so I don't know. And and it goes without saying, like, everyone feels the increases on all of the things, So like literally every ingredient, all the can labels, cans themselves, everything goes up in cost, and we're just sitting here at the same price for all the product. So it's just like I said, you start feeling that pinch, and it's like, I don't know, maybe we should think about it. But so I don't know. At this point, it doesn't feel right, and the other breweries kind of agreed, like, this doesn't feel like the economy that can handle that right now. Everyone's kind of feeling all that inflation, and things just cost more. So when things cost more, like, what's the first thing to go? Well, it's things that you don't have to have. Like, you don't have to have, like, awesome craft beer. Yeah. You could get away with cheap, crappy beer and still get the same buzz. Yeah. So why? I don't know. So, long story, and I can get off my soapbox now, but that's kind of like how we do pricing.
So you are kind of keeping it in line with your local competitors, but then maybe you not as much taking into account, like, what are some of the St. Louis or West County breweries doing, or are you? Like, are you comparing yourself to them in pricing, or not as much?
Not as much. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely
those
pay
are the ones
attention.
that I feel are more expensive.
Yeah, and they always traditionally have been. Like when we were at $5, they were at $5.50 or whatever. They were at $6. So now they're probably at $7 or $7.50. While we're at $6.50, and that's just kind of. I feel like the Illinois side, you're always just a little lower than that. But that goes to, they have more expensive rent than we do. They have, just different things, like that they're paying for that we're not having to, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I have noticed you guys cut corners a little, like you don't have to clean the bathrooms anymore. Yeah. Don't go to the bathroom.
No, we don't ever clean the bathroom.
That is still one of my favorite parts about coming here. It's the cleanliness of your bathroom.
The bathroom?
Top notch. Oh, no doubt. You're acting surprised, Chris. This is like the best. That's the only public bathroom I'll go in.
Jarod will come in here and order a beer just so he can take a leak.
Use the bathroom. I don't even need a beer. I just want to go to the bathroom here.
I just want to go back.
I love your bathrooms. They're super clean. The whole place is clean. That's what I
don't
love.
Clean them, but the bartenders do an amazing job after their shift. So yeah, they really do.
So help them out. Keep the bathrooms clean for them, folks.
Come on.
But
watch where you're aiming.
Right. I mean, it is. I've said that from day one. That's such a great thing about coming here is, like, when they're not tending bar, they're wiping tables down and cleaning stuff up, and the place is genuinely clean almost all the time, which is awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I see other businesses that, like, everything's just going up in price. Right. Everybody's trying to figure out, what can I spend my dollar on? You know? And I'm sure it's hard as a business owner to navigate that.
It is, and I mean, you're not going to force people to, pay for something that they are aren't ready to pay for or aren't willing to do. So, like, it kind of is what it is. You're it's kind of like it's the stock market mentality basically. Like, if this is, I'm hoping just the bottom of a dip and it's going to go back up. So
I think it will.
You just kind of have to hold pat a little bit and withstand it, and hopefully it doesn't last very long. Hopefully there's greener grass, in a month or two or three. Yeah. So, and it has actually gone up. Our January and February were absolutely miserable. March was better, not amazing, but late March and so far here in April, it's been good.
Yeah.
And we've also kind of we're trying to take the grab the bull by the horns and have more events, have more interesting, fun things to give people an opportunity to come in and not just a regular say Wednesday night with nothing going on.
Yeah.
We're trying to.
I said earlier that you didn't have a whole lot going on before or whatever. And I'm like, no, actually you do. Almost, there's always, whether it's a bingo night or a.
And we only talk about like the great big events
on
this, but there's usually something going on. Yeah. So that's the name of our game.
Come out and support your local business.
Yeah.
And
we would love it.
Yes.
So I don't know. And then I don't know, you also asked like about just comparing yourself or your brewery to other breweries.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was kind of interesting that, I look at it as like to even want to get into this, you have to start as, an enthusiast basically. So something made me want to go to a brewery way back when, and I did, and I had a great time. So, I went to a gas station, I bought a 6-pack of some awesome craft beer, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you start thinking like, well, I could maybe make that, or I could, when you go to a brewery, you're always thinking like, well, I would do this. I don't like how they do that.
Yeah.
And without giving specifics of that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it started way back when, and then I kind of feel like, years, 1, 2, 3 of us being open, you're still sort of, as you go to a brewery, you're still like trying to think like, well, if that works better, I might switch us to that, But by now, 9 years in, I'm still, my eyes are open to any good ideas.
Sure.
I'm not,
but you kind
just
of have
a total
know
blockhead,
what works. Yeah.
like my wife says I am. But if at this point, I'm more worried about just trying to stay in my lane, do what we do, but like to a really high level. That's what, as far as making beers, as far as the customer experience when they come in here, as far as keeping the place clean and keeping the paint fresh. So right.
You never know. Sometimes you might find old vintage paint between the floorboards.
A gallon of paint laying on the floor, open and spilled everywhere, like there was today.
Yep. Jeez.
We cleaned it up. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing to see here.
Now we do need to wrap up this episode because we have a guest who's going to be on our next one.
He's patiently waiting. He's on his 14th beer at this point.
And we do have to get to the German word of the day. But I forgot because it's so confusing about when is this episode going to come out and all that.
Yes. I don't even know.
We've got barbecue, right? Isn't that
that's
May 3rd, right?
May 3rd.
So this might come out right around then. Whether it's before or after, let's talk a little bit about barbecue.
Yeah.
So speaking of, you getting your start in brewing.
So barbecue is basically a celebration of all things that you can do at home in your backyard. Making beer on the homebrew level, and then the barbecuing side of it as well. So I mean, everybody likes to tout their own pork steaks or brat cooking or whatever. This year there's no formal barbecue competition. It's basically cook whatever you want and be ready to pass those samples out to the people that have bought tickets that are walking around. And it's going to be just like the beer end of it.
Yeah.
The people will vote on their favorite barbecue and their favorite beer. So we'll have a winner, and we'll have a winner
best of show, not best ribs or best.
Yeah. No, none of that.
Okay.
And we're not going to tell you what you have to make either. So.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So
that'll be good.
That'll be fun. A fun change. A few things led us down that path, and we kind of want to see how that will go on the barbecue side.
Yeah.
The beer end of it's going to be exactly the way it always is. We're going to have a ton of great microbrews here that are made by home brewers at their house, and I think we had around 100 different kegs, 100 varieties last year, so should be around the same this year. Should be plenty of beer, and
if you haven't been, you might be thinking, oh, a bunch of guys just making beer at home, they bring it out. Like it's going to be not good. Yeah, they're very seriously good beer. These are guys that I would say probably at least half of them could start their own brewery or are in the works right now of talking about doing that. Yeah,
so
for sure,
these are legit. Brewers.
You will not be disappointed. I mean, there's probably a clunker here.
I was going to say you could find a clunker or two. It happens out of 100.
So many good ones.
Yeah, so you'll have 98 good ones,
and you won't be like, man, these are all the same. Like you're going to have a jalapeno beer or a fruit this and then the classics too, like the real kind of tried and true German.
Right.
Everything, but kind of across the board. You're going to try so many beers.
You will have it all.
Yeah. And then you won't go hungry.
Nope.
So even if, let's just say, for some bizarre reason, Nobody decides to make barbecue this year.
Oh, no. We got you covered.
The Optimus Club is on site, multiple tents, 2 or 3 tents.
Yeah, our members are basically, and they're competing as well this year. So
wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Everyone is competing.
I was going to say, they are always one of the best. So they're competing. That's
it'll
good.
Be fun. You're going to have to bring it to beat them.
You are, yeah.
But there's 5 or 6 Optimus stands where they'll all have different kinds of meats and stuff. So
and they always say, you won't go home hungry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, even if not a single, outside competitor comes in, which isn't true because I already know of a handful that are.
Right, yeah.
But even if no one else shows up, we will have you covered for food and beer. So don't fret.
So get your tickets at the bar here at Stubborn German. Can you get them? Where else can you get them?
So it's cash only here, and that saves you all the fees.
Right.
You can go on Eventbrite online and search for BBQ Waterloo, and you can buy your tickets there. But they'll fee you to death. Not to death, but it's just kind of annoying to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Optimus Club does not get that fee money.
Yeah.
So
and after a certain date, I forget what that date is.
May 1st.
May 1st. So the BBQ is May 3rd. So after May 1st, it goes up $10. So $35 now. Bring your cash to the bar.
Yep.
Or $45 after May 1st. So
there you go.
Get it now.
That's it.
I can't wait. I'm definitely going again. This will be my 3rd year going. I haven't gone every
6th.
year. I know, yeah.
It's been every year.
I know. It'll be great. So hopefully you can hear this before that. I'll try to get it out right before that.
Yeah.
And come out, check it out, hang out with us, find us at BBQ.
For sure. Proceeds for that all benefit the Waterloo Optimus Club, which basically just does projects in Waterloo for the youth of the community. So yeah.
BBQ, beer prices, blues records. What they really want to know is the German word of the day.
All that, and they just want to know what Zahnbürste means.
I'm pretty sure it's sunburst.
I am very sorry to tell you that it does not mean sunburst, but actually, if you have bad breath and you need to brush your teeth, you might grab your Zahnbürste, which is your toothbrush.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I noticed he picked that up when I was the only one on the show.
Since you
might want to grab your toothbrush, Jared.
How's your microphone smelling?
It smells. Well, I haven't been sniffing my whiskey yet. So,
that's the second episode.
Why does my whiskey smell like beard?
Like foam.
Anyway, well, I was close.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah. But, thank you, everyone, for listening, putting up with our mediocre production efforts.
You think it's that good?
Well, yeah, not really. We definitely miss Kevin.
Yes,
he is the glue that holds the ship together.
That's obvious.
And but thanks for listening, and thanks for downloading and subscribing. And as usual, we like to end every episode with Prost. We are recording, by the way.
Are we? Mm-hmm. Almost knocked 2 beers over on your electronics here.
I'm going to surprise you with something on the air. On the air?
Oh, cool.
On the
cast.
Sure.
Cool.
And we'll see. We'll see what your answer is or reaction is. All right.
Are we doing the comparison thing?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I thought for a minute about it, so
okay.
We'll see if it turns
put you on
into
the spot.
Sure. Sure. Which beer do I want to drink first?
Are you ready?
Yeah, do you want me to start or are you going to start?
I'm trying to think of what Kevin always says.
This is the Stubborn German podcast.
You want to do it?
No.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
No, but I know what he says.
All right, I'll do it.